Hello my loves, and welcome to your weekly dose of astrological insight and inspiration. I'm intuitive evolutionary astrologer Crystal, the crystalline priestess, and I'm here to remind you of your own magnificence and your own magic through the wisdom and the power of the celestials. Now, let's jump into today's daily horoscope. This is the first day of me sharing these daily horoscopes. I've been wanting to share them for ages, but we're here now. That's what matters, okay? So, holy hell guys, this is a big day. Honestly, we got Mars that's just moved into Taurus, 0 degrees, and he's moved straight into an extremely powerful T-square with Pluto at 1 degree of Aquarius, the moon, who's just moved into Leo, and the chart that I'm showing you guys is at 2 degrees. So we have Mars at a beautiful 0, and this is creating what we call a T-square, which essentially is an opposition. So it's an opposition between Pluto and the moon, and we have a square. So that's with Mars being now here at 0 degrees of Taurus. Now, for us personally, this is really activating our hunger. I feel like it's drive. Drive is really coming through and really coming up in this reading. And as I was preparing for it, I literally was getting the message of like, what are you hungry for? Where have you been starving yourself? This is essentially the energy of the collective. Has been, last week we were sort of woken up with that Sun, Venus, Cazimi, and you know, we've had essentially Venus right after having that Cazimi move into her exact square with Saturn all over the weekend, and now she's finished with her square to Saturn. She's at 21 degrees of Gemini now, and the Sun is now at 19 degrees of Gemini, which means that he is now squaring off with Saturn. So we're really being like schooled in a way. We're really being like dragged up and really being like awakened, or I should say we are being really initiated into what it is that we want and how we need to go about actually going forward and going towards that. This is giving me like, you know, overcoming failure sort of vibes. The only way you can actually fail in this life is by giving up. And I feel like this chart, this energy today, is very much about not giving up, not throwing in the towel, and actually looking at where your desires are actually taking you. You know, what do you need to do differently in order to bring these desires into fruition? This is about hard work and changing your relationship that you have with hard work, with the Sun being in a square with Saturn. Being curious about where hard work can actually lead you into different places and spaces. There is something on your heart, something that you really are feeling a massive call towards creating, building, receiving. It's a desire. It's something that you really truly want. And you're kind of being called into questioning how it is that you're going to be going about that. Because if you think about yourself in 2 months' time, in 3 months' time, 4 months' time, 5 months' time, are you going to have, you know, taken action towards that? Think about the past 6 months. Have you been taking action towards this desire? Has it been something that's sort of festering in the background, and over this past week it's sort of come up really to the foreground? If it's come up to the foreground, then it's saying we need to be worked on, we need to do something here. There is an energy of the collective having been starved. That was literally the word that I was getting, like starved. There's such just like a starving hunger here for what feels like is like hard expansion, because it's a T-square between the moon, Leo, Pluto, Aquarius, and then Mars, Taurus. And Mars does not like to be in Taurus. Mars is now in detriment. So there's this real need to sort of ground these desires into something that feels tangible, because with Aquarius, Pluto being in Aquarius, things are very out there. Things are not feeling tangible. Things are not feeling you know, they're not really feeling solid. There's a real need, especially with Neptune also being at 29 degrees of Pisces. This is the most far out that we could possibly be. And so a lot of us are feeling really sort of, what do we say? What would I call it? It's almost like this, just like it feels like a balloon. Like it feels like a lot of the collective feels like a balloon that's just getting sort of bobbed around. And it feels like this week is a week of being able to ground ourselves back into not just a routine, but you know, a plan, a goal, something that's actually going to like change things for the better in a way that asks us to sort of like look at ourselves more and asks us to look at our energy expenditure is the word that I'm getting. How are you expending your energy in your day-to-day life? Where are you putting too much energy? Where are you not putting enough energy? Mars is really about drive. It's about passion. It's essentially the energy that gets you up, gets you out of bed, and gets you moving. What is it that's getting you moving at the moment? Because with this T-square with Pluto and the moon, today is really about what is actually driving you forward. What is the thing that's making you even get out of bed and work and go do the thing? You know, is it your children? Is it your family? Is it your career? What is it? Because there's a pressure that's building in that area of life. There's a need to really put time, there's a need to put energy into that. There's a need to really see it as being worthwhile, because a lot of us, like, we stuff our desires really deep down, really, really deep down. And Pluto is the deepest of our desires, you know? And so with the moon being in an opposition today, as it's in Leo, it's really brought up this head and heart sort of pull. If Aquarius is the head, then Leo is the heart. So, you know, it's that logic versus intuition, the soul versus, you know, society and what we're told. So today's really going to be putting the pressure on that. You might be feeling a little bit anxious. You might be feeling a little excited, but you also might be feeling really motivated. You might be feeling really like, yeah, let's fucking get this thing. I'm feeling like pumped up. I'm feeling powerful. I'm feeling like I'm ready to go. The Sun square Saturn is not an easy energy, but I'm someone that fucking loves Saturn, because Saturn is the only planet that will just literally drag you into the fucking room and fucking sit you down and be like, this is what you gotta fucking do. Every other planet will let you flounder about and fuck around. I mean, Pluto won't either though. So Pluto and Saturn, like, these are the fucking tough guys. These are the tough guys. And we're dealing with both of them in really strong aspects today, this week in general, but today. It's a really potent way to start the week. And if you're one of my Northern Hemisphere buddies, then this is your Sunday. So just put it for where it fits for you. You know, you guys are smart enough to know that I'm an Aussie and I'm a day ahead of you. So, you know, it's really about this week propelling our desires forward. Where can we actually start to get excited in a way that feels grounded and not in like this airy fairy, like, you know, when we get really excited about something and we're like, oh my God, I can't wait to go do that. And, you know, we kind of just like leap without the structure. Mars and Taurus need structure. Mars and Taurus is slow. Mars just wants to jump into things, and Taurus is literally the opposite of that. Taurus is all about the patience. It's all about the slow grind. So with Mars being in this really powerful T-square with Pluto and the moon today, it is about like understanding that there is a slow grind, that what it is that you want is not going to come overnight. It's going to take maybe even months, days, weeks, months, years worth of discipline. It's going to take years worth of moving towards something, but your heart has to be in it. Whatever it is that you're being called towards, this desire that's building and growing within you has to be based on the heart. You know, if it, essentially this transit today feels like it's really showing us where, with Pluto now being in Aquarius, and even though he is moving back, he is moving into Aquarius at the end of this year again, or I think it's at the beginning of next year, but he's moving back, and essentially after that he's in Aquarius, and we are all going to have to deal with the heart big time, because we're all going to be so much in our heads. So it's really, this transit is an awakening, because we've just had that Sun-Venus Cazimi, which is again heart opening, heart expansion, essentially God speaking to us through the heart and saying, this is what we need, this is what you need to be doing differently. And with these squares to Saturn, it's really about the level up. It's really about the actual daily changes that you need to be making. Not that they have to be big and drastic, but just really sticking to something is pretty much this energy. Where can we start to look at working differently? You know, where can we start to look at what we're building and what we're working on in a way that doesn't feel so heavy? Because there's a heaviness with Mars in Taurus. So, and as well with the Saturn square the Sun, there's a heaviness there, there's a weight. And so today's really about, you know, seeing through that fog, seeing through that heaviness, and actually looking at it and going, what is this desire trying to show me that I truly need? Inner child stuff as well, you know, with Leo. I always get, and especially with Gemini too, we're definitely looking at the inner child. You know, last week, this week, all the Gemini season to me is really a powerful opportunity for us to get curious again. It's a time for us to play. It's a time for us to start to open up and have a little bit more fun, and to just be more curious about where life is sort of taking us, as well as the facts. Now, the facts are coming up like hardcore, and I talked about the facts a lot in last week's zodiac readings, because we are in such an illusionary time with Neptune being at 29 degrees of Pisces. We literally are in the foggiest energy that we've ever been in before. So at the moment, doing your own research is absolutely critical. Also with Mars square Pluto, I'm talking a lot about our individual expressions, but globally, worldwide, this could be some really intense stuff that we're going to start seeing that's popping off around war and all that sort of stuff. But basically just a lot of strange energy in the collective. And with the moon being in this T-square, you know, the moon is almost like the collective emotions. And so collectively, we're all feeling really like in our raw. I'm feeling like Leo, you know, it's this strength. Look, we have the Queen archetype coming out. So it's this regality. The collective is really trying to work through, I think, what feels like deeply rooted self-worth issues, because Mars being in Taurus, Moon being in Leo, Pluto being in Aquarius. So there's almost like this disconnect, I think, for a lot of us, where we're needing to start to shine and share ourselves in a way that we've never felt comfortable sharing ourselves before. And that's what this T-square is. This Queen archetype says radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So this is really about being in this beautiful energy of actually being an authority in your own life, and using that authority to build the desires into something that's not only going to serve you, but Pluto in Aquarius, it's going to also serve the collective and help other people as well. Shadow attributes becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. And so that's very much an energy that could come up today as well, is just being in an energy or experiencing something with someone that could feel like really, really intense, controlling, demanding, you know, things like that, showing you where maybe you need to be a little bit more in control of your own life. We have Student coming out. It says humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to a lifelong learning. And that's so Gemini. Gemini is the student. Gemini and Sagittarius. But Gemini and the student are all about the knowledge and all about learning as much as possible. And they synthesize knowledge differently. But either way, it's still sort of, you know, the same stick. It's just different ends. And openness to lifelong learning. That's that Venus, the Sun square Saturn, you know, it's really being in this openness towards, holy shit, I'm going to be on this journey forever, so I might as well, like, you know, look at the long term. It's about looking long term, I think, at the moment, rather than quick fixes, because Gemini is very quick fix, but the square to Saturn is saying, no, there's nothing that's quick fix at the moment. Don't be doing anything quick. Don't be, you know, getting an idea yesterday that you want to cut your hair into a bob and then just going and doing it today, because I can guarantee you that in a week, you're going to be like, what the fuck did I just do? The Sun and Venus have been squaring Saturn. You know, I'm even experiencing it with myself. I just want to cut my hair off. Like, it's pissing me off that bad. I want to cut all this off. I just want to start again. And it's just kind of like this energy of needing to slow it down. Let's not do anything too hasty. I just heard the song, Jenny, don't be hasty. Don't be treat me like a baby. So, you know, inner child stuff, it's all right. Don't rush into anything. You know, it's about getting, you know, this is when you could start maybe building, go on Pinterest and start building a profile of like, or a page of all the different hairstyles that you're into and what you're thinking about you might like. Don't just think and decide that today, like, you know, even like you're going to go get a fake tan and then you go and get the fake tan and the fake tan makes you end up looking like an Oompa Loompa and you're like, oh my God, I feel like an idiot. I should have just fucking chilled out. It's winter anyway. I don't need the fake tan. It's just like, chill, calm. This Gemini sun is like, let's go, I want to do all the things. And Saturn's like, calm, young one, calm. You know, it's giving me the energy of Master Splinter taking care of the turtles, you know. It's giving me like Michelangelo versus Master Splinter, or like Michelangelo versus fucking Leonardo or Raphael, you know. Even Donatello, like all of them. Gemini is the Michelangelo. So, you know, he's also a really beautiful student though. So that's the thing, there's this playfulness, there's this silliness, but there's also this like, not rigidity, that's not the word. It's almost like this structure, this beautiful, beautiful structure that we really all have access to really utilizing at the moment, especially today. Anyway, the shadow attributes is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So we've got the word arrogant coming up twice today, which to me, if we have the same word popping up on the different cards, we really need to pay attention. This even says authority, the shadow attributes of this card. So this could even be government-wise. This could even be with like the world. We're seeing things come up in the world where it's like, holy crap. The authority is getting tight. The authority is getting strong. We are seeing that Pluto energy, you know? So authority is really coming up, and arrogance, not being in an arrogant energy. And that definitely can be Moon oppose Pluto in a T-square with Mars. That's arrogance. That's like, I know what the fucking path is and I'm gonna fucking charge ahead and go, and I don't give a shit who I have to step on. That ain't the vibe. That's why the sun's in square with Saturn while we got this happening. It's like, chill, calm down. We don't need to be like, you know, moving so quickly. This is very quick moving energy. We have the slave, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. And that's definitely what can come up with this Pluto T-square with the Moon and Mars, is fear for sure, and a fear about making our own choices. This is giving me like an example would be if we see something in the news today about potential, you know, military service stuff, and essentially, you know, everyone starts panicking and everyone starts freaking out and going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, without realizing that we actually do hold power. It's much, much stronger to be in a response energy rather than a reaction energy. So at the moment, it's about surrendering yourself and your heart to spirit. It's about surrendering to God. It's about surrendering to what feels wholesome, healthy, vibrant. You know, like I was saying before with that hunger, what feels like it's the hunger that is driving your soul, not the societal pressure shit. You know, not being a slave to what we're seeing in the external, because the external world is absolute chaos right now. And that's a reflection with this moon. That's a reflection of the inner shit that we're all dealing with as well. As above, so below, external, internal. It's all mirrors. So, you know, even if we want to judge against different parts of society, we have to recognize where that part is of society actually also exists within ourselves. So it feels like a very profound day. It feels like a day where we're able to sort of get a grip on where it is we're going. It's definitely a day to be open. It's a day to be open to learning, I think, through the experiences that you're going to have, not letting things get too overwhelming. We have the Queen of Cups coming out, which I love. So it really is about being in this creative energy. Creative energy today is, just divine. So, you know, if that you want to film something, write a poem, get painting, if you want to go meditate, you know, go into a yoga class, doing something that really is feeling like it's going to reconnect you with this heart desire and the beautiful energy of, you know, being in concert and being in connection and being in, like, you know, this is Gemini, so having both sides of you connected to each other. With the Three of Cups coming out, and we have this card's jumping everywhere, and the Nine of Wands. So it's definitely about having walls up and boundaries to where, you know, so I think it's feeling like society to me. It's feeling like having some boundaries around what's coming in, and also having your heart open to, you know, what is it that we're able to learn from the people around us? What is it that we're able to study and learn from the sky, from nature? It's feeling like a day where we're really open, just really open-minded. We have Sage, be devoted and committed. So the nature thing is definitely coming out. It's a good day to go write on the beach, you know, go journal, go read a book on the beach, go for a walk in the forest, you know, even if it's snowing or if it's crap weather, just doing something. Maybe if it's even sitting outside and staring at the stars tonight, you know. It's feeling like there's a lot of a new illumination that's coming through, just like chilling out a little bit. We have High Priestess, harness mystic power. So it's definitely a day that has a lot of potential for us to spiritually feel a lot of it. What's the word? Grounding, yes. But it's feeling like almost like, not awakening, but just spiritual connection. I don't know how else to describe it, but it feels like a day where we're really able to connect. And we have the Seer as well coming out. We're really able to connect beyond the physical world. it's a day where we're able to really see through what is happening externally, because the external is probably going to be really, really loud. Hunter, it says track down your fears and desires. So this really is about what are you, you know, a hunter is hunting because he's hungry. So what is it that you're hungry for? Because the hunger is really coming out today. The desires are really coming up. And you might notice that where your anger is also where your desires are. There's a connection. So definitely a day. If you have friends that you're you can connect with, or that you want to have like a chat with, this is definitely the day to sort of hang out. We do have this T-square, so it could be very powerful for you guys to sort of be in friend groups, or to just talk to your friends, talk to people around you, and sort of talk about maybe where you are feeling a little wounded. This is like giving me an energy of like maybe just actually speaking about your wounds, being a little bit vulnerable, and letting that help you connect with other people who are also, you know, hunting down their desires, and who are also willing to face their own fears, and who are also willing to like grow into this new healthier version of themselves. Because the collective is really needing to like, I just said glow up, but it's, and I heard grow up and glow up at the same time. So it's really a day and a week and a time for us to be connecting in with what makes us feel alive, because there's a lot of weight. 10 of Wands. There's an awful lot of weight that we're all carrying at the moment. And if you can just sort of give yourself a break, if you can sort of just give yourself a moment to listen to your heart and to rest, you know, this, the Queen of, I've lost it now. The Queen of Cups is all about being emotionally regulated. And we have the Queen of Wands coming out, but she was actually coming out when I first saw her in the reverse. So it's definitely about needing to harness these desires within us, and to harness our energy, and to not become overwhelmed with too much going on in the collective, because this is going to be a very loud energy with this Mars ingress into Taurus and this T-square today. So I'm going to leave this reading here, my loves. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be filming the zodiac signs as well today, so they should be going up today and tomorrow, and just when it happens, because I'm still in my trial and error phase big time. So let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any suggestions for videos or anything like that, or any comments, any feedback, all that jazz. I really appreciate it. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like, because it really helps to spread my videos to more beautiful astrological souls, if I could fucking speak properly. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher selves, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I, for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message to you. I really hope that you vibed with it. Make sure you check out your channeled song as well, because there's a channeled song for the day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.